Hello and good day. Welcome to our video channel, God's Promises. And today's video will be Psalm chapter 40. Let's get started now. Psalm 40 is a powerful expression of praise, thanksgiving, and trust in God's provision and deliverance. It begins with David's declaration of waiting patiently for the Lord to act, followed by his testimony of God's faithfulness in hearing his cry and lifting him out of the pit of despair. David then offers a hymn of thanksgiving, praising God's deeds and faithfulness, declaring his willingness to follow God's will, and proclaiming God's righteousness and salvation to all who will listen. The first verses of Psalm 40 describe David's waiting on the Lord, emphasizing his patient trust in God's timing and deliverance. David declares, "I waited patiently for the Lord. He turned to me and heard my cry. He lifted me out of the slimy pit, out of the mud and mire. He set my feet on a rock and gave me a firm place to stand." Psalm 40 verses 1-2. David knew that God was his only hope in times of trouble and that his faithfulness would see him through even the darkest of times. In the following verses, David sings a hymn of thanksgiving, praising God's mighty deeds and faithfulness. He declares that God's works are too numerous to count and that his plans are beyond human understanding. David then declares his willingness to follow God's will, saying, "Here I am, I have come. It is written about me in the scroll. I desire to do your will, my God. Your law is within my heart." Psalm 40 verses 7-8. David then turns to proclaiming God's righteousness and salvation to all who will listen. He declares that God's goodness and faithfulness have never failed him, and that he has always proclaimed God's goodness and salvation to others. David's message is clear: God is faithful, and those who trust in him will never be put to shame. The teaching application of Psalm 40 is that we should wait patiently on the Lord, trusting in his faithfulness and deliverance. In times of trouble and despair, we must remember that God is our only hope and that he will lift us out of the pit of despair and set us on a firm foundation. We must praise God for his mighty deeds and faithfulness, declare our willingness to follow his will, and proclaim his righteousness and salvation to all who will listen. When we put our trust in God, we can be confident that he will never fail us, and that we can endure any trial or difficulty that may come our way. Thank you for visiting us today. Please share with us your favorite Bible verse below in the comments section. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It really does help our channel grow. Looking forward to see you back here for our next video. Always take good care.